Hey guys, we're Allie and Lance, and we've built out a bus, a van, and we're actually now going to live in a truck camper. Welcome to our 1995 4x4 7.3 Econoline van tour.
Back of the van, we've got two boxes with plenty of storage in them. We've got our axe and a shovel, just in case. Both of these swing out with ease. Full-size spare tire, reverse lights, a 5,000-pound winch, and anything you'd really need to get yourself out of a sticky situation, as well as a location to hold welding gas. This being an E350, it does have the Class 4 towing hitch, which is great because you can tow heavy things with it. We've towed a 5,000-pound pull behind trailer with it, no problem. Coming inside here, we've got plenty of storage. These are 4-foot drawer slide outs with 500-pound hinges. This van's fully framed in metal, so any weight that's in these, it can handle. Up here we've got our 12,000 BTU mini split. Pretty overkill, but it works. And yes, it can run off of our solar. I've upgraded the van to slide out, so now we can have a total of 800 watts of solar when fully slid out, or pushed in for 400 watts. And it works either way, no problems. This thing's been 4-wheel drive swapped, front end converted to look new and modern, as well as some big beefy bumpers and some custom bedliner paint. This is a front end conversion out of a 2010 Econoline, giving it that nice new look. We've got a move bumpers, front bumper here that I have customized and made fit a little bit better, as well as a 12,000 pound Badland winch. Moving on over, we've got 35-inch Mickey Thompson all-terrains on here. These are the Baja Boss all-terrains. They are wrapped around some Pro Comp wheels. These are a custom rock slider side steps that I've built, as well as having boat matting on top just for that extra little touch of detail. Above here we've got a motion light, so this will come on with any motion, and we can also turn it off if we don't like that. We've got our water fill here for our water tank. We've got 36 gallons of water on the inside, as well as our fuel tank here. Right next to that is another fuel tank. This is about 5 gallons of diesel that we store in this one, and about 3 gallons of gas we store in this one. The gas is just for friends or broken down cars on the road. Right up here we've got our exterior light that is controlled by the switch panel inside. We've got one here on the other side and one in the back that can all be controlled from the inside. You can see we have our traction boards here. These come in handy for friends more than us, actually. This is our pop out. I'm sure you saw it on the other side. These I custom built out of 14 gauge steel. Bent them, welded them, all on a garage floor. Worked out pretty good. Right here we've got our shore power plug-in and an exterior outlet in case you want to run a projector or charge batteries, anything you'd like. This little vent here is our on-demand water heater. Moving on over, we've got our step to make your life easier so you don't hurt your joints. It folds up and kind of clicks in. Doesn't come out while you're driving, and when you're ready, you can pop it out. Opening these doors, we have our very unique interior. We've spent a lot of time on this entire van and a lot of time on the interior. Allie absolutely knocked it out of the park with these door panels. Custom made out of hickory, milled down by Allie herself. As much storage as possible in this van, anywhere we could squeeze it in. This floor was dropped 2 inches and pushed back, as well as putting the flooring all the way up through the inside, backside, everywhere I could, essentially. We've got 2 big dogs, so we built this for us and our dogs. It's built for us. This is a doggy gate that also hides our 10-gallon propane tank and our outdoor shower. It's great. You can soap up out here. Moving on inside, we'll show you that.
Welcome to the interior of our van. This was a gigantic project because we took a lot of time detail and thought with literally everything that we did in here. So I kind of want to break that down for you and explain why we did it this way. This is our second custom build, so we kind of had a lot of experience from our first build, which was the bus, and what we could live with, what we could live without. We'll get right into it. One of the first most notable things that I want you guys to know throughout the interior tour is Lance actually dropped the inside floor down 2 inches. This made it to where him, 6 foot tall, could stand up completely. When you're living in a vehicle full time and you're constantly cocking your head, it doesn't work out. So he dropped the floor 2 inches. Behind me, our main entry step, and the step originally was only that wide, so very, very skinny. We wanted to be able to comfortably stand on this step. That way, if the dogs are bombarding us, we could still shut the door behind us, be on this step. Having a wide step, it's nice. It might sound picky, but it really does make a huge difference. Instead of having a center console for the truck area, we use it as our fridge. So this is a set power dual zone fridge. This first part is the refrigerator option. It's very deep. I've been super happy with this company. And then the back area is the freezer portion. And they are actually separate. If you're going to get a fridge, I suggest having them completely separate in case your power turns off, things start to thaw in the freezer. You don't want that stuff mixing. It also slides completely out to where we actually would use this as a bench. The slides hold your weight. But when we also slide it all the way out, we can turn this seat around to have another seating area. Lance would work on this chair. I would have the couch with the dogs. It really opens up the space a lot. And having multiple purposes and opportunities to kind of have space from your partner in a van is pretty nice. So this whole little couch office setup worked out great for Lance. Originally, this entire front area was the classic old van gray color, but we wanted it to kind of match more of our style, our theme. So we took a vinyl spray paint and changed it up to a tan, good vibe cab area. The custom door panels flow throughout the entire van, so they're also on these 2 front doors, as well as our interior flooring. Lance took the time and molded the flooring up to that cab area as well. So this is actually the original height of what the van was at. So when we come in here, you would have to be standing like cockeyed like I am right there. So when we put that roof extension on, we were standing in here and decided that we really don't need the height when we're sitting and driving, so we use it for storage, which is what a lot of van builds do. But it provided a ton of storage. I could actually lay up here if we wanted to make me a little bunk bed. It goes super deep, my entire arm's length. This is a double shelf. We did our clothes in here, so it would be Lance's clothes, my clothes, and that's about all we needed for when we were traveling. And then we stored one wheels up here. This was kind of just a hoopla of all the big stuff we didn't really know where else to put. And they're on struts, so they hold themselves up. Super easy to get into, very handy. I'm very happy we kept this space as storage. Plus, the structure of the van was not lost since we didn't cut away that interior van roof that was originally here. Makes me feel a bit safer when we drive. As we're taking you through this tour, you're gonna see a lot of this black metal pieces. Lance actually braced the entire van with metal, so the structure in here is super sturdy. It comes across, down the frame of the van, up the frame of the van, because we wanted to support that new roof that we put on, because we knew we were putting a lot of weight on it. Just wanted to have that extra system. It's kind of like a roll cage, if you will. So there's metal bracing up here, there's metal bracings in the back. It made us feel a lot more safe and comfortable with adding this much weight onto the van and having the structure be sound. Really don't waste space in any vehicle that we build, especially a van when we have 2 people and 2 gigantic dogs. We need all the storage we can have. So we kind of flowed this cabinetry over. We're also very big into angles because it just kind of helps move the space along. If this was kind of cut sharp, I mean, you're losing storage and it looks cooler. So we'd have tall food goods in this area and store cans, spices, whatever needs to be up here. I also have a little mirror for getting ready. All of these cabinets have these metal supports as well, which does help it keep latched. If we had a ton of weight in it, we did kind of have a system to help lock it down. Just depends the weight that's pressing on the doors when you're driving. We also have these 2 beautiful slide out drawers. This either stored our food or our silverware. Now here's one of my favorite parts of the build, Lance's favorite part of the build, something that we creatively came up with together one day when we were kind of setting the structure in here, and that is our bar area. So we'd store drinks here, mixers, just all of our little cocktail goodies. And Lance did an inset LED light that is actually separate, so you can turn it off if it's kind of too much. It does shine on the bed, so sometimes during the night we would actually just have this light on, and it was kind of our lantern. So this was just kind of our creative take on something that we enjoy and wanted to personalize in the van, which leads us to our tap. We wish we were cool enough to have a kegerator hooked up to this, but it is just our fresh water. It is really cool though how we were traveling, and when I needed water I'd just pop open the tap. This is our main switch panel for all of the electronics, so it's all kind of ordered in the order you would think it would be. So these top lights are actually exterior, so we have 270-degree lighting, technically full lighting because we can turn lights on the outside if need be in the back area, but for this switch panel we can light up the left, the back of the van, and the right of the van. Down below, these are 2 extra switches for if we need to hook something up in the future. This one turns on the on-demand hot water heater. So this far right one is our floor lighting. We wanted to make sure that all of the space is nice and lit up. It kind of makes it feel more open in here. So if you turn this off and on, that's our floor. The middle is our main indoor lighting. It's all under this beautiful walnut. So we can turn that off, and then this is the bar area. I'll turn it back on for the purposes of this video. These 2 gigantic bad boys are 2 of the most important drawers in this van. This was also a kind of forethought drawer that we knew we needed in the van. We stored a ton of camera equipment, things that we needed to charge and just quick grab it so we can grab it from the driver or passenger seat. We also added a power strip in here, so everything was just always in this one drawer. We weren't looking for batteries all the time. It had a place and it went in here. But then something else that's cool is we have a slide out cutting board, countertop if you will. This almost made the van a 360 countertop, which is perfect for traveling because you're gonna cook a lot when you live on the road. You don't always want to be eating out, and having that extra counter space or even workspace if you needed it was really helpful. This gigantic one is our Nature's Head toilet. Pretty common sense. You can look up a how-to tutorial on the Nature's Head. It's composting, so you do have to get rid of all of your compost by yourself, and then we can just slide it back in. This is our bar sink. It's technically for a bar if you were to look it up on Amazon. This cup washer, you saw it spritz a little. The water pump isn't really on, so it just kind of gurgled. But this is the best thing you can add to a van. The amount of water you save by just rinsing cups or rinsing, we just rinse bowls in here too. Perfect. It has a drying rack, and we're able to take this countertop out to use the sink. And the sink is super deep. Look, my entire arm in the sink. Very deep sink, must have in any van build, because sometimes you can't do all the dishes, and this just goes on top to hide them. This is a Agua Stella faucet. This is all the same brand, not sponsored, but we do really like their products. And you can kind of pull it out. This is a soap dispenser. We put this in all of our builds and are really happy to have it, so we don't just have a soap container sitting on the counter. Moving on to the rest of the lower storage on this side. This drawer is a big slide out drawer. I used it for our toiletries right by the sink. Toothbrush, makeup, right by the mirror. Just made sense. This is faux because that deep sink is right behind here, so it doesn't actually open, but it still looks pretty. This right bigger door is our trash can and towel holder. I put cleaner in here, just kind of whatever fits. Regular under the sink items. Lance also cut out this inset kind of hand holder, so when you grab the cabinets, they're all super easy to get. You don't kind of have to grab them from the side. Okay, we got 2 more drawers on this side left. Might seem like a lot in a van. I know, because we didn't waste any storage space. This is a very fancy drawer. You might see that it's curved in. It's very important to be able to easily move throughout the van. So having that extra 4 inches, I would say, to be able to get onto the bed actually makes a huge difference. This drawer flows with that. And we kind of wanted 2 skinny guys, but we wanted the drawers to match throughout with the same depth. So if you pull this out, it has a top drawer that slides out with it as well. Underneath this is our main kind of backup storage pantry. It has 2 shelves, stored a lot of food. This curvature still blows my mind that Lance did that on the cabinet faces. We wanted the van to stay very light, very airy, especially to be able to see out at our height was super important to us. So when we found the roof at the junkyard, we also searched for some windows. And these windows were just out of a truck camper shell, which is nice because they actually came with a screen. We can slide the windows out, which makes us have airflow throughout the entire van when they're both open. With these windows, we did want to cover them in a way. So we actually made these slide out covers for them that will completely black out the window. If need be, say it's a hot day, the sun's beating down on the window, or we need a little privacy. Above this is a little storage shelf. We wanted to kind of keep it nice and open for those tall people that need to bend over the sink without them hitting their head. So this is just something you can kind of put your little knickknacks, snacks, whatever you need to put on there. Now let's move over to the passenger side. There's still a lot going on over here, so stay with me. Here is that other slide out. And now we have a fully blacked out van. We have another little mini storage shelf. Again, we do a lot of cooking. Lance is very tall. He didn't want to have to hit his head, so we kept this storage nice, small, for things that you can just kind of throw up here. It is inset as well. It goes down about 1.5 inches, so if you put something up here, it really doesn't roll off. We like making smoothies, so Lance made a custom blender holder rather than us storing it and taking it out. It just always sits up here and you can take it out, clean it, whatever you need to do. Down below, the grand spanking amazing thing that a lot of vans don't have, an oven stovetop combo. So the countertop comes off. We have 2 burners right here, along with our beautiful propane oven. We have a 10-pound propane tank for this, and we like cooking with gas better than electricity. It's worked out great for us. No problems, no complaints. We did elect for less storage in order to have the oven, so we have only 3 compartments down here, but that's totally fine. This is just a little slide out drawer. Behind it is that propane tank and actually our hot water heater. Over here we have 2 mini drawers. They got to be mini for a reason because we have the water heater down there. This is a nice long deep one. I stored cups, random utensils, cooking supplies in here. This is birch wood that we milled down and split in half, so it's actually technically called book matching. So if you kind of notice, each of these pieces as you go out actually match each other because it was split in half, which made for a nice clean look. And then Lance also custom did all of the trim work. So instead of having that regular Max Fan plastic ugly looking thing, he made all of this beautiful trim, which it's triple tiered. Very detailed, very beautiful. Welcome to our multi-purpose full-size bed in a short version van. We love bed space. The dogs lay on the bed all the time, so having a full-size bed was very important to us. And as you can see, it breaks down into a table. The table's on a lagoon leg. We can twist it, move it all around. We have a dog that is a rock in a river and won't move, so this actually really helps with moving it around him. We also made it to where we can fold up the back cushion if need be. There's a plank that comes up and a plank that also comes up after that will rest on the wall in case you need some back support. These are the newest additives to the build. Upper head storage is very important, but we couldn't really have these extended out too much. I could maybe have it lower, but Lance is 6 foot, so his head clears this upper head very nicely when sitting down on the bed. But this flips up. It's flatter storage. I promise you, in a van, you will find things to tuck in here that work out. Mm-hmm. This upper one is obviously much deeper. You can put clothes in here. Really anything you need to, just more upper head storage. This is a faux cabinet. We didn't need it to open because we didn't want it to hit the mini split. Moving on back here, there is some depth to the van, and all of this walnut actually symbolizes where we cut the roof out, so we did need to leave this denseness because there is a lot of structure to it. So we did cut back as much as we possibly could and then made it to where we could just build upper head storage around it and use that depth as our storage compartments. So this whole long guy flips up nice and deep. This one opens. You have a gigantic storage area. And to the left, that's actually the coil for our mini split. So that one's a faux cabinet as well. This is a 12,000 BTU unit from Semville. We've loved it. It works great off of our solar power. It keeps in here maybe too cool or too hot if we want it to. It's a bit overkill, but we're happy with it. It's also our first mini split that we've done in a build, and we are never going back. We will always put these in a vehicle. It's the best thing ever. Especially having dogs, you can't always have them be outside. Sometimes you can't always, take them into stores or take them on the activities that you're doing. So having this system really puts us at peace because you can just set it to a auto temperature and it'll make sure that the temperature stays good in here for your pets. I can easily stretch across this van. Again, this is a full-size cushion, but Lance took the time and made pop-outs for the van, so it pops out about 2.5 inches on each side, so he's 6 foot and can lay completely sideways. We wanted to have the bed this way to save living area and walking area up there, and it worked out great. Let's move over to the fun side. I never thought I would say you need a TV in a build, but Lance and I are big movie and TV buffs, and this thing is so nice. This TV can flip out to any setting that you need it to. So if I'm cooking in the kitchen, want to watch The Bear, I just flip it out to where I can see it from the kitchen. This is the smallest TV we could also find, and it looks so gigantic in this van. We turn it on for a dramatic effect. If you're laying in bed, literally perfect angle. Your head's right there, head right there, movie screen right in front of you. Up here is another storage compartment. You can put your phone, anything you want to charge. We put games up here. And then under here, the TV is actually plugged into a plug, so you have that secondary plug. Talking about plugs, this is kind of the main work table, if you will. So Lance put in these house plugs and 12-volt plugs on each side of the bed. We can charge our phones. We can both work from each side and not have cords stretching all throughout. Now this is our last upper head, another kind of skinny drawer, but trust me, people, as in me, find things to put in there, and it makes it look a lot prettier than just being shoved somewhere else. And then we have another deep drawer, and then it goes to our blender and into our kitchen area. Under here we have these kind of bookshelves. We would store lots of things in these guys. This is the hot water heater, and then to my left is the button to turn the inverter on, so when you need 120 volt. Over here you also can see our water line, so if it's full, the water line will be right about there. It's empty right now, so you can't see it, but it's kind of a fun little way to check how much water we have. Last pretty cool thing that we did with the bed area is make it to where we can get into our storage cabinets under the van. If we needed a tool and it was bad weather outside, or we didn't really like the area we were in, or we were parallel parked, there's a lot of reasons you could want to do this, but you just lift it up and you have access to the top drawers. So we strategically pack these drawers with things that we might need on rainy days, or just tools we want to have easy access to from the inside. All of these holes are to let the bed vent. It's very common in small areas to have mold grow under the bed just because the moisture that gets trapped under it. So it's all vented throughout. We don't want any mold growth in here.
All right, so back under here, we have a custom fitted water tank that can hold 36 gallons of water, which is as much as we could squeeze in the space we were willing to give it. On the other side, on this other cushion here, is the whole electrical system. So we have the hot water heater here on demand, and around this area we have the inverter and fuses, and then in the back we have our 5600 amp hours of lithium battery, and that's what powers the entire van.